Power in His hand. Amen. Amen. I want to thank our brother for leading us in those songs this morning. Amen. He always does an outstanding job leading us in songs, and we just appreciate him so very much. I appreciate him personally. He's a good friend of mine. He's like a little younger brother to me. We have a great time cutting up together. But he is one good guy in terms of ministry, in terms of a family man, in terms of a good friend. We appreciate him so very much. I'm saying these nice things, but I'm going to later on. We just appreciate him. So grateful for our brother Highsmith reading our scripture. Highsmith does an outstanding job teaching classes here. Week after week, he just keeps coming at it. We give him a break every now and again, not too often. we give him a break every now, just enough to go. That's enough. We got to have him back in working. Have him back in working. Told Brother Highsmith a while ago. He's secretariat. All right. And he got to run. He got to run. Got thoroughbreds in the stable. We have to let him run. Appreciate him so very much. Grateful for our brothers who have opened us up in prayer. Brother Gordon praying on our behalf, taking us to the throne of grace. Appreciate him, and for all of the things. Brother Stone getting us started off this morning, letting us know what's going on here at WESTVIEW. We appreciate him so very much. Another just great ministry partner to work with. So grateful for him. Grateful for all of our brothers who have done all that you've done, and those that will do the things you'll do in our worship today. Let me just say one other thing before we get into the message. I want to shout out Brother Willie Lord. You look around your feet, you're going to see those spots that you saw last week. Hold on. Unless you put another one down there. He took care of that. Brother Willie did some investigation. We had one cleaning service that was starting to rip us off badly. Brother Lloyd did some research, and he got us down about almost 2/3 of the cost. And a better cleaning job. Take my hat off to him for looking out for us. Now, you help him out now. Keep your coffee off. The carpet's not thirsty. You don't need to give the carpet anything to drink, right? Just be mindful of that. You don't need to pour a little bit out for the brothers who can't be here. Don't worry about that. Everything's good to go. Don't need all that. Let's look at John chapter 6. John the 6th chapter. I want to talk to you from John the 6th chapter this morning, and I want you to open your Bibles there. I want to try to share with you something that I think is very much a text that we need to consider on a regular basis. John the 6th chapter is such a rich chapter. Let me tell you that the richness of this text can never really fully be appreciated. Not only that, but the exposition of this text can never really be exhausted. There's almost, or every time I read this text, there is a freshness of God's powerful truth that impacts my soul, and I hope that it will impact your soul. This morning, I hope that I can convey this truth to you in a very life-challenging, life-impacting, life-changing way. Jesus, in terms of the background of this text, Jesus had been teaching in the synagogue. He had, prior to that, fed over 5,000 people with a couple of sardines and a few loaves of bread. We're not talking about Wonder Bread. We're not talking about the big loaf of bread. We're talking about little small discs, if you will, look like stones. Jesus took that small amount of food and fed over 5,000 people, and there was food to spare. He had said, gather up the fragments so that nothing is wasted. And when they gathered it up, they still had a lot of food. Jesus had done that great work, and then he went on to catch up with his disciples after they had gotten into a boat and left without him to go on the other side of the waters. The Bible lets us know they saw Jesus walking across across the water.
Yes, sir.
And he got on the boat, and they were afraid when they first saw it. I'd have been afraid too. He got on the boat, and then they were on the other side. And then the Bible tells us that the people that were there to witness the feeding, the people that were there who ate to their full, those individuals looked around and they didn't see Jesus any further.
Yes, sir.
They didn't even see a boat out there where Jesus might have gone. They didn't know what was going on. Where was Jesus?
Man.
And so they found some other boats. They got on the other side by those boats and they found Jesus.
Amen.
Context lets us know that they came to Jesus and they said, Rabbi, where you been?
Yeah.
Right.
We were looking for you. We were searching for you. Where'd you go? And then Jesus hit them with a very powerful truth, the way Jesus always does.
Yeah.
Jesus said in so many words, you're just chasing me to get something to eat.
That's right.
You didn't come because of anything else. You just came to get some more food.
Yeah.
And the Lord gave them a powerful challenge there. He said in substance, don't make your priority getting physical food.
All right.
But rather, go for something deeper than that.
All right.
And I want to use that background, this chapter, and talk to you from the subject, dining with Jesus.
All right.
Dining with Jesus. Now, I've preached from this chapter on several occasions, but it seems like every time I come back to it, there's something I missed.
All right.
I want to try to catch up a little bit more in this text today. We talk about dining with Jesus. Now, dining suggests eating, obviously.
Yeah.
We talk about the idea of eating, and I want to bring something to your attention as we talk about this. I want you to think about hunger in the world. There's a question we need to ask ourselves, and we need to ask the entire world, are you hungry?
All right.
Are you hungry? And when we think about hunger in the world, by hunger, I'm talking about an actual scarcity of food. It is when you can't depend on opening a cabinet and finding anything in it.
All right.
It's where you can't depend on being able to go to a market and find food in it. It's when you cannot depend on having enough income to purchase the basic necessities of human consumption. I want to let you know that the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization estimates that about 805 million people of the 7.3 billion people in the world, one in nine were suffering from chronic undernourishment from 2012 to 2014. These are the faces of people who don't have a sense of security when it comes to food to eat. These are people who are searching across the world and even in this country trying to get some sort of assurance that they will have food to eat. Here in this United States, there were some 48 million people living in conditions of food insecurity last year. You say, well, this is the richest nation in the world. And why in the world are there people in this nation doing without food? That's a good question. That's a question that the church needs to ask. And that's not just a question that the church needs to ask. That's a question that the church needs to answer by doing things that will help people get the food that they need. Don't you know that even here, if my memory serves me correctly, in Alabama, 17% of people are food deficient. People right here in this state, food deficient. Let me just pause, and this is not my lesson, but since I'm down this street, I might as well park for a minute. This is why we focus on outreach here at the Westview Church. This is why we're focused on energizing ourselves to and investing our income, investing our offering, sowing a high percentage for people who need stuff. We always try to tell you that we party with a purpose. When we have these giveaways, we're partying with a purpose. Yeah, we have a good time. We cut up, we have fun, we banter and bout back and forth, but the real purpose is to help people who are not sharing in the same blessing that we have. You and I have food to eat. You and I have clothes to wear. We've gotten transportation to get here. We don't necessarily, at least most of us, have to worry about going to the doctor and having the money to take care of it or the insurance to take care of it. You see, most of us, if not all of us, have the necessities. We're not worried about food scarcity. But in this state and in this country and in this entire world, there are people who don't have the security of a warm cup of coffee and a piece of bread. That's why I love the Westview Church.
Yes, sir.
For being an outreach church.
All right.
For being a church that wants to help people. Even today, we're going to do a little bit to try to help folk have something, even for just Thanksgiving, whatever we can do. Don't you ever get tired of reaching out to help people who are not as blessed as we are. We talk about the idea of nourishment. It's very important. These are very powerful facts, and these facts that we're talking about at this moment ought to help us remember our need to be a good neighbor to those that are our neighbors. Amen. You remember when that man came to Jesus? He said, what must I do to have life? And Jesus told him some things, but he wanted to justify himself. Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. Remember that? He wanted to justify himself. Well, who is my neighbor? Jesus told him the story of the Good Samaritan. Who is your neighbor? Anybody you see. Anybody you know who is hurting genuinely. Doesn't take much to reach in your pantry for a can of pork and beans to give to somebody who has no pork, no bean, no bowl to put in. We need to be concerned about hunger.